Welcome back to the Bench Bear podcast and our special feature for the 20th anniversary of Ice Hockey Varsity. In this episode, I'll be interviewing our president, Jaden Davies. Let's get started. I actually didn't think about the intro. I just realized.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to the show. Is it still the, what's it called, Bench Bear podcast?
Yeah, it's still the Bench Bear.
Oh, it's starting up season 2.
3 years on, and we're finally reviving it.
Indeed. It needs to happen.
It was about time.
Indeed.
And what a time with the 20th anniversary of Varsity.
That is true.
Ice hockey.
That is very true indeed. It's actually the 19th game of Varsity though, thanks to COVID.
Ah, that's a very good point.
So it depends how you want to look at it. It's the 20th anniversary of Varsity, but it's not a 20th match.
Ah.
So that's next year, so we can really drag it out for 2 years.
Anyways, to do a proper introduction, welcome back everybody. I'm joined here today by our president, Jaden Davies.
Hello.
Jaden, let's jump straight into the questions.
Yes.
What does Varsity mean to you?
It's a pretty big question to start off with, you know. It means a lot of things, I guess. Like, you know, it's a big feeling. It's a big, you know, it's such a big event, and I think we spend our whole year building up for it. Really, I think it's the first thing on everybody's minds, you know, when the season starts is Varsity again this year. So no, it's a big one. I think, especially for uni of this year, we're looking quite strong, and I'm looking forward. I'm hoping maybe, I'm touching wood here, there could be a triple sweep coming, you know. But I think it means everything that the club works for, you know. We put in a lot of work throughout the whole year, especially throughout the season in Bears and developing Bears. And it's really sort of like a celebration of Bears as a whole. You know, we sell out the arena. We've now got women's varsity. We've got uni of twos. It just shows the depth within that club. And I mean, you know, for twos especially, as we like, you know, playing for it, it's kind of crazy to see that the level keeps pushing up higher. You know, we've got B teamers now going into uni of twos, whereas before, you know, we were putting everyone. You know, it's you know, there's room for threes at some point. You know, Varsity, the old classic that we used to have, but it's just it's a really nice celebration, I guess, of everything Bears and what we work towards.
You just mentioned that, like, you've obviously played twos. How many varsities have you played so far?
I've played 2 so far, I believe. Both in net for 2s and then on the bench for 1s. It's been a pretty fun experience, I'd say. But this will be going into my 3rd varsity, I believe.
What was your favourite memory about Varsity from those 2 that you've played?
I've got to say, I mean, being peppered in 2s the past 2 years hasn't been too pleasurable. It's been great playing my mates, but I think definitely on the best seat on the house and the bench for 1s has been amazing. Just getting to skate out and getting to watch the game, you know, first hand right there. It's been a great experience, and the atmosphere. Just really being able to soak it up and not have too much pressure, you know, to actually perform. I just get to enjoy it. There's obviously the fans, isn't there? The fans are pretty big. Like, they love it. I mean, obviously, as you know, ice hockey people, I've seen a couple of Steelers games in my time, and you know, the fans are a bit boring. Not to be a bit offensive to them, like, it's pretty quiet in there. But when you come out to Varsity, you see there's just 8,000 drunk students. So I don't think many of them know what's going on, but they know what it means to them, and there's a bit of passion to it. They're absolutely raring for it, and it's electric. Like, especially the first, like, you know, 5 minutes, they don't know what's going on, but they see a bit of a hit. Someone gets the puck, bang! It just lights up with, you know, its sound. You can't hear yourself think. But I think, like, you just kind of, it just disappears as well. That sound in the back of your mind. You're kind of just busy watching. But it's a crazy thing. I think, like, one of the weirdest experiences I've had was, like, you skate out and you cross the ice and the sound just changes from cheers from uni of to boos. It's pretty weird, like, the auditorial change of just, like, going halfway across and the sound completely changes. Still same level, just different sounds.
You've been on both 1s and 2s, so like, how does that compare? Obviously, you've just mentioned the booing from Hallam,
yeah,
which you don't really get because we don't fill out the Bauer Arena, but Like, is there anything different? I'm guessing there's a lot more prep. Like, how does it look on the day?
On the day, it's massively different. I mean, like, the whole prep is completely different. I think for twos, like, obviously I've never actually, played in ones. I've just been on the bench. But, like, obviously you got the build-up, you've got the morning skate, there's a selection, and obviously the drills are way more, complex as well, and the training sessions building up. You've got the morning skate, which feels really nice. You come into this big empty arena, all the seats are ready, the atmosphere's, there. There's kind of like a little fog, hovering over the ice. It's quite atmospheric, and just get to warm up and get used to skate on the ice. And the ice is really nice. Like, obviously it's elite standard and only professional team use it, so it's quite nice not having to do with the remnants of a public skate beforehand where it's all carved up. It's very smooth. But it's just nice, like, it's just a good day. And then obviously you go for a team meal beforehand, get back, get ready, and then get there for the build up, run through by the sports officer, what the events, track in order, and you start building it all up in the change rooms, and everyone's toned up in their suits. You go outside for a photo, and you can start to see the crowds all building up and queuing. It's a big difference in twos. It's like going to another normal game, but you're in suits, I'd say. But and the feeling's still then, especially when you're your best mates. Like, it's probably the most competitive game. Like, most league games, you've got a lead, but this is you win it all or leave it on the ice. And I think for twos as well, it's the first check-in game for most people, of that ability as well. So you've got people trying to fly and land hits, and it's a lot more unorthodox, and it really could swing either way for twos.
Let's move a bit away from ice hockey.
Mm-hmm.
You're a PhD student here at the uni.
I am indeed.
And I've looked it up because I didn't know what any of the words mean on your profile. You are measuring the thickness of lubricants on like machining components stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of components. It's mainly bearings I do it on, but I mean I do work part-time as an engineering consultant, so there's a lot of other bits and bobs that I've been doing on. You get pistons, anything that's kind of like a three-layer system. I've even done aircraft with sealant in between the wings, but I use ultrasound. So basically, I pulse a bit of sound into some bearings, I hear it back, and I go, okay, it's a bit different here. I think it's this film thickness. Obviously, it's a bit more complex, but that's a pretty simple analogy. Is I chuck some sound out something, hear what comes back, and go, bang, that's the film thickness. But I think that's a pretty good basic summary.
So you started off on the committee as a treasurer, and you picked up the treasurer role after quite a turbulent time when it came to the Bears treasury.
Yes.
How was your committee journey from like getting onto especially executive committee, and then like what made you progress to being a president?
I think obviously there's a bit of turbulence beforehand, but I think I had a lot of help from Lawson and the president at the time, and Beth, and most of the executive committee. They were very helpful in bringing me on board and being able to deal with the finance. I'm a bit of a freak in the sheets. I like to play with the numbers, but I had it was all kind of there, the foundations. We just had to build up again, and we're at a pretty steady level now, and we've got our treasurer hiding behind the back of the scenes here right now, and he's doing a great job. But I think it was more just being able to conserve money and just find any sort of avenue we could pull any money from. But I think that then came quite helpful to my PhD, because I've had to do a lot of grant writing, and that's been there in the background for me. So it's been nice to develop the skills from my actual time in committee into my actual real roles.
Are you going to be running for president next year?
I will be indeed. I think I've got another year left of me, definitely, and also developing the skills that I've developed this year through it and managing it for it. Definitely. I mean, being president has actually developed my skills elsewhere. Again, my PhD. I'm now chair for a student-led conference in tribology for the next year. So it's nice to develop that and kind of take it again even more serious. But I think being able to use that, I can develop my skills again back in presidency and take that into my next year. And hopefully, I think maybe next year will be the last time I run for it, and then look at handing it over before I go into the final year of my PhD.
The past few seasons, you've developed some good friendships.
Yes.
For example, the brain rot line.
The brain rot line, indeed.
And like one thing that I just can't get into my head, like you're doing a PhD, but like you've also got like so much knowledge of all this brain rot online. Like, how do these two things fit together? Like, being a PhD student myself, how do you find the time to keep up with all the brain rot, basically?
I've got a pretty big announcement to make, actually. I don't actually have brain rot on my phone anymore now. I stopped after Christmas. I've deleted all social media off my phone now. It's just on my iPad, so I can quickly check it when I'm at home just to see what people are up to. But it has come to the point where I can no longer balance it all. The brain rot has got too much. I now have to spend more time doing it elsewhere. But I think a lot of it was on the shitter, I don't know if it might have to be bleeped out, possibly. But on the shit, walking to and fro, just constantly on my phone. But it probably got quite bad, so I thought, okay, I need to actually lock in here. And I've locked in, and it's been a good couple of months since I've actually been immersed in brain rot. I think 6, 7 might be the last one that I've really witnessed.
I've only found out today, for a question from Emma, that one of your hobbies is bird watching.
Indeed.
So how's the bird watching going?
It's going very well. This is a joint project with 1/3 of Brain Rot Line, Alex Smith. He introduced me into it. I think it was me, Mackenzie, and Alex, the OG Brain Rot Line. And I think Alex brought up that he's been bird watching, and Mackenzie called him an old fart for it. And he said, "You've got to try it, you guys should come along." And Mackenzie, being the Cadbury's flake as he's always been, he's pulled out the past few times, but Alex got me into it, and it's actually really good fun. So just kind of went head first into it, and I really enjoyed it. And I've been solo birding. Scott, I've even got a nice little gift here. I've got my birdwatcher's pocket guide. I keep in my back pocket. I keep that locked on me, so you never know when you might need to pull it out and identify a bird.
What's your favourite bird?
I don't know. I do like a good coot. The coots are pretty killed, and moorhens. They're pretty common birds, but they're quite funny. Last time I went birding, it was all frozen over the marshlands, and I remember seeing a coot come in, land, and just completely go do a backflip on the ice. It's a pretty good moment, but they're just cute. They just like waddle around by the reeds and that, and just on the marshland.
You also play train sim.
Oh yeah, I do have train sim at home.
How's that?
Pretty good.
What's your favourite train?
Class 802.
I
do love a Class 802. I don't like, everyone goes on like the steam trains and the older versions, or going through diesel. Well, the Class 802 is a diesel, it's a hybrid. I'm pulling out the niche knowledge here. But yeah, I do enjoy Class 152 Sprinter as well. Just doing boring commuter lines. It's pretty chill. It's a good way, a few beers, bit of music on a Friday night after the pub, and just hit up the train sim. You're just there, just laying it back, just there, controlling it. It's very good fun.
It is good fun. I played as well.
Indeed. I need to plug the birding channel, the birding account. Me and Alex are in birding photography now. We've got ajbirds.raw. Make sure to give it a follow. 450 followers already.
Damn, we'll definitely put that in the description. The ice hockey club, the Bears, we're going to get a lot of attention now with Varsity.
Yes.
Everybody always gets really excited about the big game. So, to the people that aren't in the club that might be listening to this, how would you explain the process of joining the club?
I think just get in contact with the Bears Instagram and we can help you with that. We've got rental kits available. I think it's like, I can't remember the price off the top of my head, so I won't drop it now. It might be £60 to £80 actually. I can't remember, somewhere in that ballpark. And to be able to start to playing from scratch then basically. I mean, I joined this club just starting from scratch basically. I think it was it was the last Winter Olympics. It's been 4 years, because it's coming back around again. I was at the pub with my mates, and the ice hockey was on. I was like, it's a pretty sick sport, I might want to give it a go. After a few drinks, and it convinced me. And I thought next year, all right, there's Bears. They do beginners. This sounds like good fun. I'll give it a try. Change up from the sports I've played before. And I started from scratch at Bears and ended up here. It's been a good ride. But yeah, Bears is really inclusive club. I mean, obviously we cater from professional to complete non-beginners. We've got a team in every league. Oh, well, actually, we can't say that anymore. The Mighty E team got promoted last year actually, so we actually are no longer in the bottom league. But we do have a development team, and E-team probably will be going back down again this year.
I don't think they're staying for much longer.
No. I mean, a D-team should probably go down as well.
D-team's not doing well.
No. But it's we do cover every sort of aspect, and all levels, which is really great. And especially because some clubs do only have like 2 teams, and you've got people who are basically professional, playing with people who've never skated before. It's nice. You will always be with a group of people, around your talent. There's not too many big gaps, but there's a nice big pathway that you can follow as well. Yeah, and obviously we've got our own dedicated women's team as well. And for that, we this year will hopefully be the first time we actually skate 2 women's teams dedicated for the women's nationals this year, hopefully. We're just waiting to hear back from the BRHA about that entry.
You started off as a player when you first joined us.
Yes.
As I'd say 99% of the people.
Yeah, I think so. I think you've got the rarity of Luke Nelson, who just rocked up to give it a go with full goalie kit. But I think, everyone starts as a player, really, unless you have been playing goalie for years beforehand. And then some people transition into it.
So you've transitioned.
Mm-hmm.
What led you to it?
The fact that we had no University of Sheffield keepers, and twos needed a keeper. It was a pretty easy way into varsity twos. Little did I know it ended up being varsity ones that year as well, because the bigs gave me the chance to back up, and that was quite a good fun, great experience. But they were just not there, so I managed to just pile, accumulate some of the spare bits that the club had, and then slowly grow my own through Facebook Marketplace. And I just kind of started getting to goalkeeping through there, and going to training as much as I could in it, and really enjoyed it. It's an interesting role. It certainly is. Obviously, you're just there to take pucks, really. It's a lot more different to play. And I think there's also the element you're on your own between those 2 pipes. You don't come off, you spend the whole time on there. And especially if you're getting peppered, which, I've done for the past 2 varsities, it's quite hard when you go into some of those games and you just know, like, shit, I've just got to hopefully try, keep it as low as possible and hope for the best.
I mean, having tried it out myself,
Mm-hmm.
I know that it gets really tiring being
Mm-hmm.
on there, because you don't expect the amount of legwork that goes into it.
Yes.
What do you prefer, being a goalie or a player? Is there a preference?
I think it depends how my last game went in either role, to be honest. No, I think I much prefer being in there. It's a lot more fun. I enjoy it. Enjoy the movements, and also I think it's just the role I've kind of grown more into than being as a player.
Do you have any of those unusual goalie traditions?
I would say I'm quite a superstitious person, to be fair. I like my routine. I like everything has to be followed in the same way. And I've got there's bits of my kit that I think my glove has spent. It's an old CCM glove, and if anyone knows CCM goalie gloves, they are stiff as a brick. So it's been many times going in and out of the oven and slowly loosen up. But I think I just kind of get that. I get it a bit wet in the shower actually before I go in, because it can dry up. It gets a little bit crusty. So I wet it up so it gets nice and nice and soft before the game, before training.
With your role in the club and your PhD, and with how late our trainings are,
Mm-hmm.
and how randomly spread out they are over the week.
Yep.
How do you balance all these things together?
It is pretty tough, to be fair. I think the good thing with PhD, it's nicer than a normal job because you can be more flexible when you come into the office. I think I've always tried to treat it as a 9 to 5, but you just kind of have to firm it some nights that you're going to be waking up a bit more tired than others, but it's definitely worth it for the university ice hockey. And I think it's a lot of time organisation skills as well, with the amount of work that goes in, obviously being on committee and running stuff, and everything else, in life as well. When you've got that going on, it's certainly driven my time management skills to be a lot better. And I think it's been a big benefit. It's just taking what you can from all these experiences, I think. And obviously the late night games as well, and the half midnight face-offs in Whitley Bay. Sometimes you just have to sack off a day afterwards and just say, I'm going to spend the night here and come back then the next day. But I guess it's take it as a holiday, a little trip to Wake and Whitley Bay. But it's just big time management skills, I think. And I think it's quite nice starting undergrad. You can just sleep in. Uni doesn't start for whenever, and you skip lectures. Can't remember anything I learnt from my lectures. It's always because it's exam period right now for a lot of the students. I don't think I ever learnt anything in my lectures. I think it all got learnt in the 10 days before the exam through revision. But it's just time management, definitely, and being able to be on track of everything, and keep an organisation, a lot of lists and to-do lists. Big up Obsidian to be able to track everything and have all my notes and thoughts in one place.
Speaking of Whitley Bay,
mm-hmm.
What's your favourite away game?
My favourite away game? I do like Whitley Bay. There's something special about it. It is fallen down. I mean, say that they did put some new silver sheets on the roof this year. Massive.
Exciting. They have a new scoreboard as well.
And they have a new scoreboard as well. Really big. The thing is, I hate Bradford. Bradford's also like old, terrible. You have to go upstairs to go in it. But I don't know, something about Whitley Bay that's quite romantic about it. It's quite nice. The midnight face-off. It's a rite of passage. Bradford's just terrible ice rink, just horrible. I think my favourite away game is when I played actually in Cambridge against University of East Anglia, the challenge game. They've got a really nice ice pad. It's a really nice area, I think. But like a lot of the ones around here, it is good fun when you play Mavs and you get to play in the arena there. I think that's the closest you can get to that sort of like big arena style, and it's a very nice ice. But yeah, I'd probably put Cambridge, I think, actually is one of my favourites. They've got a very nice ice pad. I'll never forget how smooth it was.
Thanks very much, Jaden, for joining me here today and for answering my questions. And I look forward to seeing you on the ice.
Well, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you, sharing the ice with you too in Varsity 2s.